Pyro Streams, hello to you. Welcome to the Creator Jam 1-year anniversary, otherwise known as the Jammaversary. Jammaversary. And we even got
everything set up,
heart-shaped
everyone.
balloons.
Pyro VR, Pyro Stream says hello.
Yep. So, Medra,
Yeah,
are you going to be explaining as to what exactly we're going to be doing?
absolutely. Let me just get this all
Okay,
up and running, and I'll be happy to.
I'll also switch you over to broadcast, just so then
Let
you're
me
a
get this
little
all.
louder. Also, Bobatron, hearts to you. Pyro says currently cannot be in VR, so I'm watching here. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Glad to have you here with us, Pyro.
It's like super early. It's like
Yeah,
1 p.m.
very early. Let me
It's 4 a.m. for me.
give me just a second. Let me turn on the translation tools. I gotta change into a different body. So let me turn in the translation tools, and we should be good.
Meandra.
Yay.
It's 8 p.m. here.
Does anyone want cuddle sleeps after the stream? I'm joking. Hey, Fulmy. Nice to see you.
Is this thing starting soon? Or
It's 1 p.m.
I don't know
for
what.
you, Bobatron. Nice. Also, be sure to hide your camera, Medra, if you can. Sometimes gets in the other camera. Oh, are you doing the? Hey, I can actually
When
bring
the
in the
camera
special chat. For,
slides.
I can bring in the special chat for you guys, so that you can have the Twitch chat commands in here.
Okay. Should be above my head. Should be the translation tool. Can you see it? Okay. Is it working?
Oh yeah.
There appears to be a box, yes.
Does it say anything? Is it saying stuff?
No, I brought in a Twitch master chat for you guys.
Thanks.
Set language,
Same.
yes, it says set language.
It says set language.
Yeah.
Is it
In
saying
the
words
lower
though?
box.
Is it saying
It
words
is
though?
translating.
It is translating.
Okay, that's perfect. That's all it needs. Perfect. So, okay, sure. Well,
Excellent love.
let's all jump to the Cool Kids Hangout because that's actually more space. So you can jump from bed to bed or fly if you don't feel like it, and use Power Walker mode. Power Walker mode's faster.
Okay, then let's get to that then. Let's jump on our way through. Whee! Ah, this one's a harder jump. I have to like
Oh, oh,
climb this one.
oh, there. Welcome everyone to the Creator
you wanna try
Jam
like a true
1-year
game?
Jammaversary.
Help you fall asleep. It's like instead of counting sheep, you're counting a volley. Whoa!
So
Oh my gosh. Are you trying to get me motion sick? Gosh. Okay. So, yeah. All of these Creator Jam worlds all neatly organized. Look at
Yes.
that. Here we got all the way from Creator Jam 50 all the way from Creator Jam 1. Wait, are we showing every single one?
Oh yes, every single one for 15 hours straight. No, we're just hitting highlight words.
Just showing the highlight worlds? Okay.
Yeah, just the best ofs. That would be mean to make everyone sit through and
all of the good shit.
Yeah.
We're going through all
the
the
good
shit.
stuff. We got the good stuff.
Okay. May also says any new updates so fair.
Welcome,
yes,
Litalia.
There's been a few new
Litalita.
updates since Friday with the
Litalita.
icons. That's about it.
Welcome.
We're kind of doing something different for this stream though today, you guys, because we're showing off. This is the Creator Jam 1-year anniversary, and we're showing off all the different jam worlds. So yeah.
Yeah, I can give an explanation for everyone. All right. Welcome everyone.
Put the camera on you.
Okay,
There you go.
sure.
That's right.
Welcome everyone. Some of you getting up very early. Konbanwa. Have some translation tools. Basically,
Combined one.
No, konbanwa.
Sorry. But it's like recognized.
Don't worry, that's why I know.
Yes, we also have translation tool, which will be kind of work partially, and that will help offset. Monsoon of Babies will help be a translator for anyone from the Neos East Japanese community that's coming here. For those of you that are on stream or here live, basically, Jammaversary is the 1-year anniversary of Creator Jams. We've been doing this for a week, every week, for an entire year. So I'm very, 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 very excited.
Creator Jam has been such an incredible thing to have here at Neos, and I think it's gonna even have more time for it to grow out. And also, Kay, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription, and King, thank you for the follow. Also, Medra, when you're looking like that, I haven't even had breakfast yet. Come over here.
Sure. I'm just move over just a little bit so I can read because my back. My eyes are crap. Okay. Yes.
It doesn't. It doesn't
Oh, yeah,
look
that's still.
great when you haven't had breakfast. No, I'm just joking.
So yeah, but basically what we'll do today is this is like a mega jam, but even better because we have hell a lot of worlds. We are not going to explore every world, but we're going to be basically visiting the best of worlds. I have a multi-server set up. Right now, this is set to be at 15 users in here.
I'm so excited.
When we,
just can't hide it.
if we get super laggy, then we'll keep adding more users. Let's see how we're doing it as far as user count. 14 already. Woo! Wow. Okay. Well, that's quick.
I like how you have the translator above your name right now to translate from the Japanese to the English.
Yeah, and that's thank you to Anomalous for helping me set up the translation tool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Monsoon of Babies. I think he must be at start. So okay, so basically what we'll do is we'll be going on a tour first, and we'll be touring 11 Creator Jam worlds. And we'll be starting from the very beginning, as far as the very first Jam world and what that was like. And then we'll be going to the ones that I think are the most interesting.
I don't even remember what the first Jam world was. I don't even remember it at all. So this
yeah,
is
it's
fun
perfect.
To go back there, dive deep into the origins of. We could probably even talk about the origin there, maybe even like why you even started out Creator Jam and like all
Love
that kind of
to.
stuff. And as we go there for the first one, we can kind of like talk about that and then move on to the other worlds and such.
Sure.
Because I think the idea of Creator Jam is so awesome, and it's going to bring out a lot more creativity for connecting the community to actually want to build together, and that's a very important thing that you can do in Neos. And having more of that is definitely something that I'll always continue to feature out, and just hope to have you here to keep doing more. We can have your 2th anniversary.
Same. I hope to be here. And I guess 15 will be our user count for in here. Unfortunately, I wanted to have like 28 when we had before, but the performance I wanted to be a little bit not as intense for everyone. So there's 2 sessions. Someone can watch through the stream to see the other session. But I first of all want to thank you all for coming out. I'm really, really, really excited. I love the community here, and I wanted to make sure to share the great things that people have built in here and to share with people that are visiting.
We love you too, Medra.
And so let's get to having some fun. Like I'm a person that doesn't like to just jabber away. Let's go doing some things. Yeah.
My ADHD is kicking in.
Totally. I think a large majority of the population has that with us.
That my stomach is growling.
So what we'll do is I've set it up in such a way so people wouldn't just randomly go to the world. So all of them are private, and I jump in first, then make them public to visit.
Sounds good to me.
And let's make sure I have everything set. Let me just set the streaming camera, and we're good.
Say hi to the stream, you guys. Hi.
Hello.
You'll be clipped in a YouTube video montage.
Hey, Bubbatron. Much love to you too. So I will open up the first world that we're going to be exploring here.
Hell yeah.
Is the procedural cave maze. The procedural cave maze was built, and if someone wouldn't mind getting ready to get a torch out, if you would, like in your inventory to get a torch to share with everyone. This was a model that a person made using generative modeling tricks like using, I think this one was using cell phone data. And so let's switch in. Give me just a minute.
Fascinating.
Yes, we're following.
I need to heart this or else. Thank you for being
Send out
patient.
that invite, Medra. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's 11 more.
I need heart to serve. The way the translator goes sometimes is funny. What it says.
Yeah, paying attention.
Thank you all for being patient. This is an
I
experiment.
also like your wiggler that you put on the sign. I think that's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it too.
Thanks. That was purple juice. Yeah. My goodness. Okay, well.
There's more peeps joining.
Yeah, this is causing the screen to refresh, so it's making it so I can't get to the world as easily.
Poor Metro.
That's how it goes.
Medra is going to like dissipate. But that's okay. We'll be going to the next world.
It keeps refreshing. All right, I'll see you on a second because I'm going to go get out of this world to do this. So we're gonna try and rush to do this quickly. Ah! Glitches, glitches, glitches.
Were we supposed to join on him?
Unforeseen technical difficulties. Like basically, this keeps refreshing. It keeps refreshing the names or the world, so I can't access it easily. We might end up having to reset it. Oh, of course. I did lots of contingency tests. Oh,
Technical difficulties, you guys, no problem though, because we'll have them solved up pretty quickly, I'm sure.
and yes, there. Ah. Thank you for being patient, everyone. There we go. Thank you all for being very patient.
He went from fresh toast to being stale toast.
Felt like it. Okay.
Boatron said. Okay.
Crunch. Okay, so just join in, and I'll see you in a minute.
Welcome to Creator Jam number
Is the translation tool still above my head?
Yes.
Yay.
So this is where it all started.
Yeah, this is where it all started. How appropriate that it's a cave.
It's kind of like humanity.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep, it's where it all started, in a cave with a fire and a glowing crystal. And then we got really high, and then we turned into humans.
Yep. Then you realized you can make tools and it's all over. Now you're making tools that are inside fake reality. So can anyone get out a torch really quickly?
I don't think I have any.
Yeah, try to explain something like virtual reality to somebody 2,000 years ago. It'd be like, what?
Torches bij dir.
What fire? That's not a thing yet. What?
So I'll just grab a candle then.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Love you guys.
Oh, natuurlijk, we rijden hier met een würfel, met een wasser.
I'll just grab it. Either way,
Oh yeah.
doesn't matter. So, thank you.
Let me
All
set
right.
you the
So
broadcast
this is where it all started. This was the first Creator Jam world. The general idea was. Oh yeah, I guess this doesn't have light on it. Thanks. So basically, this is where it all started. It was on June 2nd, summer. I thought that Neos needed a place where people could get together, have a good time, building things, because whenever I came into Neos originally, hold on, I'm hearing my voice feedback is throwing me off.
Oh, you can hit the on your camera button. There's like a red button, and you can like mute at least as you're talking, because that's what I had to do on my camera for. Like,
Sure.
If there's ever
Thank
feedback,
you.
I just hit the red button. It's not permanent, but it's just for the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Nex. So basically, this was built out by, the world was originally a model by Aaron J. Olson. And the general idea of what I wanted to do here was, I really love Neos for the community. People would come in and, like a show and tell session, they'd say, look at this cool thing I built. You could just be hanging out in the world, and next thing you know, someone pops in, brings out something that's really magnificent. And I love that type of idea of creativity. And notice that Neos didn't have any type of activities at the time that were consistent, that were just every week. And so what I wanted to do is have a place where people could get together and build out together and share that kind of creative energy, because someday the small community that is Neos will not be small, and there'll be a lot of people that will be basically consumers, ones that aren't creators. And I wanted to kind of hold on to that type of creator mentality, that if someone came in that was new, or if someone just wanted to have an excuse to if someone wanted an excuse to create, they could. So yeah, I won't ramble on too much, but basically it was a place for people to be able to be creative, and the idea that people could meet other like-minded friends and kind of show off what they did and have something to show for. And so it was made up of about 6 people: Anomalous, Leon Clement, Circuitry, Draconis, and, well, King John was just there for a second, and Ghostlight. Those were the first people. And so if we just want to explore the cave for a second before we kind of get lost, because that'll happen pretty quickly, maybe you all not so much, and then we'll kind of check out some of the sections here. And then after that, we'll go back and check out some other places. So does anyone have any questions before I just start moseying? Let's move and talk. I hate standing still.
The zip got to him.
Yeah. So let's see. I
It's all right. It
always
was a
make a
beautiful
wrong
speech.
turn.
Don't worry, Medra. Chat was helping you out with that zoom. They wanted to get you moving.
True. Okay. I always think it's a left turn, but I think it's a right turn.
It's just interesting seeing we're just following
Turn
the piece
left
of toast.
here.
Yeah, that's
Follow
right.
Yeah.
the toast, everyone.
I feel like it's left, but this
Helps that
seems.
he's unlit.
Yeah, in this situation,
Yes.
it's good. But having others with a torch and light,
Yes,
So,
if only I knew
this is.
items well enough.
I thought there was a torch in the Neos Essentials.
There is. It's under lights.
Why didn't you tell me? Okay, I'll get it right now.
Watch me suffer. Boo.
Well, I mean, there's a torch right here too. We just grab this
Yeah.
torch.
Oh,
Hey.
how convenient.
How convenient indeed.
Okay.
Let's go, you guys.
So, all right, you get the idea that it's a big maze. Let's get into fly mode and cheat. So, okay, if you fly up, and you can actually see the different locations that people had. The
Oh, damn.
lights over there are the beginning. If we fly over towards the blue area, the one here, if you fly towards me over this way, this is Ghostlight section. And so you can see everything's pretty basic in here, like it's very minimal, but then again, Neos couldn't really handle like a large amount of people. And And so he was working on having lights that faded and what have you. Yeah. Yep. That's where it all started. Custom avatars.
Oh my god, you came back for me! Timmy!
Help!
You left me in here with this low resolution junk. No.
I'm getting out of here. Okay, so let's fly up and check out a couple others. Whoop.
Zoop.
And then we're going to fly over towards the anomalous section.
I'm just gonna jump to you, Medra.
That sounds just as good. So I'm over here, everyone.
Next, maybe you should start passing out torches.
My torch.
And so this was anomalous. This area, he used a computer he built in Neos that did Google image search for references. And
Oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
and generally,
So you can search up whatever image that you want, and then it would just show it up right here, and you can skip through it. I don't even think it's Google search images. I think it's something completely different.
no, I think he used the API from that.
Really, it's API from Google? Google images?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then, if you look inside, like some of a lot of things you'll see that are built out from Anomalous the whole time we end up checking out are mostly built in world. He usually builds things in world or codes his own things. And then if we follow this way, I think this is on to, hopefully don't go back to Ghost Lights. Let me see. Oh, this one's Ghost Lights.
Was
Yes.
the whole cavern made in Neos or outside?
The cavern was made outside of Neos. It was by
Alright.
a fellow that made generative art. If we go to, let's see. Over here will be Draconis's.
Jump.
So
Are we flying again?
I'm up over here. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just jumping to Medra. Jump. He's way too quick for me. He has his fly speed like triple.
Yeah, I do. I'm like a hummingbird on this. I
Yeah,
probably could be that kind of avatar. That would be suiting. Okay.
it would be. I
And so-
have a 3D model of that. This one's pretty cool. I like the lava going through this area.
Yeah. And so,
But
And-
these kind of look like fruits though.
yeah, I guess some of them do. The stalactites are kind of like made through natural means.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of like understand that this is the first thing that was built and how much it's changed and evolved. We'll go to one more section. And the
What can be
crystals.
seen can never be unseen. Okay.
Zoop.
And we'll go over to the glowing yellow egg.
Yellow orb. Oh, wrong person jump to.
And this is the one that I worked on.
Oh, nice.
And so
Dark and red.
Leon made a little tiny. And Clement made a
Ew, it
little
has
tiny
eyes
egg.
on it.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy. But you'll see this world and some of the other cave worlds that are built. That they use this cave. That people grab this cave, and that's something to kind of
Oh, chief.
to note about Creator Jams is one of the major goals is when people build things or we bring in assets that they're all commercially free to use or with an attribution license. And that people can reuse and remix worlds, and therefore it kind of gives back to the community, not just through an event, but also in assets. And so this cave has been reused, I think, 3 times. A Delirious Jack's world and 2 Gearbout worlds. So it's cool to see these things used out and remixed in a way that's in some ways much better than the original. So, well, okay. Well, let's move on to a world that's a little bit more built out. And
MC Gill says happy birthday, Jam.
thank
Yep,
you.
so now we're going to. So this was the first world that Creator Jam ever did, or that was ever made out. So Medra wanted to show this one off first, which I think looks pretty cool so far from what it is. But it's seeing out how the other worlds, once you guys see during the stream, it's grown even more and more and more because of the new features that we have added into Neos, and also the new players and people that have through the time of put their own part in through Creator Jam.
Yep, absolutely.
5 people did.
And basically people, but yep, I'm going to jump back and
Okay.
then we'll go to
So-
Crater Jam 4. And I'll explain
Okay.
that when we get back into the...
Yep. So we're all
Well,
gonna be
so-
heading back. So
Yep, and if you all would just make sure to
do we
leave.
just leave this one?
Yeah, I would make sure to leave
Yeah,
it.
you just can we can just close.
So I'll
this
see you
one.
soon. Because this is headless, it'll be better to leave if you can.
TR Hack has a station for Medra.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So how would you approach if you wanted to make infinite cave map only using Neostar?
Yeah, there's some ways to do that. I would say that I'm not the best expert to talk about that, but you could, depending on if you're wanting to make it infinite feel infinite or whether it actually is infinite. If you want to feel infinite, I would use like warp portals. The next Crater Jam, we're going to be doing something with a bottomless pit that's going to have the illusion that it's going on forever. Probably Probable Prime knows more about that than I would as far as like generative building.
I would say for me, just like set up a teleporter and then you just be going inside kind of like a loop.
That would give you
That's how
the
you'd make it
illusion of it.
Yeah, so you'd make it like an
This is
illusion and you
nice
just
to
set
know.
like teleport points.
It'll always be more efficient to do it as opposed to, packing the world full of infinite, quote unquote, assets.
But you could have it so where it generates and then the other part destroys itself or something else like that, I would think.
Decent point.
Well, I'm going to join this before it loops like it just did. Oh. But while I'm kind of flipping through this, I'll describe what the next world is. The next world is Crater Jam Primitives, and this was one of the more worlds where a lot of people came in and contributed. And one thing I love about Crater Jams is I get to see a lot of new faces, and basically we're able to visit. Yeah, I can't do two things at once. I'm going to just tell you guys that when we're in world. There's just...
Fair enough.
Take your time, Edra. There's a lot.
There we are. Here's the Crater Jam primitive world.
Okay. Just being
And-
scanned.
So feel free to jump in there.
Actually, it's private.
Oh.
Glad to have you here, Loxy. Welcome.
All right, everyone. We'll wait a second for everyone to load in. These are loading pretty well with everyone. How's everybody else's FPS going so far? Is it decent?
Yeah, so far it's pretty good.
Manageable.
Yay! Yay! The preparations worked. Woo! Okay.
What's FPS?
Right? Something that Neos likes to eat for breakfast. Oh, delicious.
So
that
it's
that
having
memory.
breakfast at the moment.
So, okay.
On the quest,
Basically-
definitely.
Well, basically, this world was a primitives world. Every Crater Jam event, I try and have something that's a little bit different, and in a way, make it so it's a little bit challenging, or at least has some kind of aspect that people aren't used to or would like to try out. And for this one, the limitation was only using primitives and Neos tools. And so people either built out in different sections, and that will be a scheme you'll see a lot within Crater Jams, where we have a theme and then people kind of pick sections and then build out either in groups or individually. And so we'll start off kind of probably go left to right. Well, now let's go right to left. That'll be more fun.
Also, Loxy, it says, judging by the name of the Twitch stream, assuming you are the creator of this. So right now we're
Yes.
demoing and showing off the Creator Jam, and Creator Jam is the person, or Medra is the person who has leaded out the Creator Jam and was the creator of the Creator Jam, and then the creator of Neos would be Froxius. And
correct.
I would be one of the developers here, and I also do a lot of the Neos Twitch streams here. So nice to meet you, Loxy. Welcome.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Loxy. So yes,
Also, hi to you, Trey Sky.
I only contribute so much in the jams. During hosting, I can't build as much as I would like, but the jams are only as good as the people that are there to create in it. And so
He's the main host of Creator Jam.
And so I bring in a lot of assets. I try and get everything set up and running. This is a Candyland part made by Draconis.
Delicious.
And so I think I'm going to ramp up this.
Taking them high quality.
Woo!
High quality.
And so,
Yes, this game has actually it has a very lot of customization. Loxy, all these worlds right here that you're seeing were made entirely by users in Neos.
yes.
So they were all imported out inside here, and then people were able to use their hands and place these down. Like I'm guessing the person did with all these lollipops, they duplicated them out with their hands and placed them all around.
Yes.
So, yeah, a lot of customizability, and you can customize stuff that.
So you'll notice in here that everything was made out with primitives, and so they still were able to use different materials. And some things were made with using the convex hole brush. So if we follow me, this was made by Draconis Storm. This one needs colliders, but was made by Circuitry. And you'll see he has a common styling, a lot of neon and like psychedelic-y stuff. And if you fly up all the way up here,
Ich hab sowas von keine FPS mehr.
Oh yeah, there's like an up side of this.
so if you fly up,
9.
Imagine trying to actually jump. in
it's
this.
very retro-feely.
Liquid.
Ich hab noch vieles offen.
And this is Circuitries. And one thing that's really fun about watching people build in world, yeah, it needs colliders on this one. That's why I said fly up. Sorry. Is watching
And
people
yes,
build.
Loxy, we do have a character customization as well.
So let's go down to where Aegis built a world, built the Taj Mahal-ish type thing.
Ich bin nicht zu Hause.
This one is pretty impressive by Aegis. He used only prisms
Von good old.
to build out that whole thing.
It's pretty interesting what people can build just with the tools that are already in Neos. And just using basic shapes and form.
Glad you're liking that so far, Loxy.
And it wouldn't be an Aegis creation if there weren't a couple rotations, something rotating.
Yep, he also got some picture references, but he used only assets entirely in Neos, just built with tools in Neos. Also, thank you for the follow, Loxy. Very kind of you. Art, thank you for the follow as well.
Yeah,
Gibt's denn Neos im Store?
but basically, this one had a decent amount of contribution from everyone, and so that usually makes the world a little bit more fleshed out. So if you follow me out of here, over to Moon Watcher's area.
There's also one that has a funny gravity thing as well, right?
Yes, that's why I wanted to kind of save that for last. Like later, you go in and you're like, "Ooh, that's nice." So we'll just kind of walk past and look at Moon Watcher's piece, and then we'll go into Vigilebo's work. And Vigilebo is one of the members of the community that does a lot of really interesting gadgets. Very creative. You'll see them in their small dog. And this is
I was
Moonwatcher's there.
informed that the character's actually an
just so
Arctic
everyone
Fox.
knows.
What is the character? I'm sorry, I should.
Only usually for one
Arctic
day,
Fox?
and they're usually on
Arctic Fox. I'm
Saturdays
sorry.
for the creator
I
jams.
apologize. They're an
No,
Arctic
no
Fox.
worries.
It's a concept.
I thought when he was saying or when they were saying woof woof a lot, that's what I was mistaken. So okay, let's all go to Vigilabu's work, and you'll have to shrink yourself down if you're not used to doing that. Make scaling enabled, and then you'll need to be
Can I just walk?
you'll need to be Vigilabu sized to go through this.
Right.
And if you start
Then we'll
walking,
just,
yep.
oh yeah, and it gets my orientation. That's so weird. Here, wait, I'll actually show them the camera. Woo! Oh my gosh.
And this part's very difficult, but we'll do it.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh,
Nice, you did it. Next, you're a pro.
Ah! Help me.
What?
Loxy says, so is anyone allowed to build things? How does it work? Yeah,
Oh,
basically, if
that's a good
you're
question.
given the permissions, you can build whatever you would
All
like.
right, quickly. Oh,
Oh, there they go.
Gravity is failing me.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
Loxy. I don't mind answering questions while
No,
we're here. Also,
and-
Try Sky says, if you would advertise this more, this would be one of the most popular VR games. If more people know, it would be more popular than VRC. Yeah,
So-
I mean, we're kind of
Everyone,
waiting on
you can also
advertising
walk in
Neos,
here.
though. We feel like when it's more in a
On this
ready
side?
state, then we'll be advertising it out in a bigger way. Probably maybe like late 2020 or later or early 2021 is when we're
Feel
gonna have
free.
some like good advertising through our new trailer and such like that. But until then, we're gonna have a lot more updates.
Everyone,
and I think
feel
that
free to.
you're finding it right
Oh,
now.
welcome. Oh, hello. Konbanwa. So if you want to walk this way, this way is easier.
Ah, yes.
Let me fly over to, or jump over to Madra.
What? So cool.
And so this is really nice.
Is it okay if I show off my creation, Madra?
Yeah, let's do that. So let's go to. Yeah. Let me fall down. So we're going to walk towards Nexulans creation.
So I would just like to say for people who are coming here from VRC, I really hope that
And so
with the state of mind that this isn't really like a VRC 2.0, but more of like Neos is Neos, and it has a lot of really unique and amazing things that you can already do with it. So, and basically taking the ideals that you would have of something like that platform, but making it even so much better because now.
And then this is
we can
next
actually do
creation.
all the editing real time in
Used
VR, and we don't have
mostly
to use
convex
Unreal
hull.
whatsoever. Such as, for example, yep, I used the convex hull brush to build out this real quick one day.
And to answer one of the previous questions that was asked of Nex, and creator jams are a little bit unique compared to a lot of Neos worlds where we give full builder permission to every registered user, which isn't normal, and a lot of applications people would do malicious things, but we've had almost 400 users come through creator jams in over a year and no problems. Other than maybe
So
someone.
people in the community are very mindful of each other, and they're pretty, I would say, kind to each other as well. So it's really good to have that kind of community so far, and having people that aren't, coming in here trolling or doing all that kind of nonsense, and we don't have to deal with any of that. At least not too often. Like maybe like once every 2 months or something like that. So people inside here are very, very good. And then Abysmal says make a separate channel on YouTube for the official trailer of Neos, or continue using Proxiuses. We're probably going to be using Proxiuses continually because it just
Alright.
has enough.
We'll
of a
probably.
following. So we're going to be using that one. For sure.
All right, everyone, let's jump back, and we're going to go to much later jam. And so if everyone would make sure to
also,
leave.
Loxy,
right.
if you're Loxy's saying, I feel like for your character Neos, you could add a feature where you flap your arms and so what?
All right. So, oh wait. For
Leave this
everyone.
world. Going back to the other one, you can see also
Take this
worlds
moment.
load,
Sorry, Medra, I totally
almost
crashed.
instantaneously
That's okay.
when you're
That's
have them
okay.
preloaded, so you could
I just came back and waited for you guys here.
kind of like browser
thank you.
tabs on a computer.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to one of my favorite worlds, and that's the airship world.
I have a Valve index.
So it'll be a minute. For those of you that are
Okay,
new
Magic?
coming in here, I have to. I have the world set up to private, so that way I can host plenty of them without having too many users overwhelm the system. But it does take me a minute. So thank you for being patient. I'll load this in.
Orange Queen.
Oh! Hello.
Hello.
The eye.
Very sick. Yep, Heaven, we're streaming quite early because we're showing off. This is anniversary. Loxy says, I
forgot
have
to
no
sleep.
idea how to script, but I'm sure I can learn. Yeah, here's the awesome thing about Neo. Look over somebody's shoulder and see all of their UI and see how they build out stuff and how they do logics. So if you want to learn that, you can actually watch somebody else do it in real time. Pretty great.
Mm.
Is your avatar an Avalon's? It's so cute. I don't think it's an Avalon's. I think isn't Avalon the city that out the volleys or but the like world or the I think that's a but yeah I'm in a volley.
So,
That's what it is, in a volley.
oof, I'm a little bit laggy, guys, with all this. going.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
That's all right.
So,
and thank you, Loxy. I appreciate that.
and
30
is
FPS
everyone to anyone else that's in the other world? Is everyone visiting the other world? Does anyone know?
There's a couple.
There's a couple in there because people are gonna have to watch through the stream there because I don't think I can max out anymore in here, and do what we're doing. So yeah, let's move into this world. Let me and before we move into it,
No problem.
I want to make sure and let everyone know that one of the reasons why we're streaming earlier is I wanted to make sure to include everyone on the Eastern Hemisphere of the world. I want to make sure that
Yeah, Medra was kind of cutting out a little bit, but basically, just so then the people that are the international community can also, join in during the stream as well. So that's why we have people from the like Japanese community that can also like hear what's happening.
so.
Okay, so is this gonna load?
Yep.
Or do you have to be in it?
Give me a second.
Laser time.
Laser time. Lasers.
Let me get in there.
Dette var nytt annet ord.
Wow.
So what we'll do is we can probably duplicate another one of these two while we're at it. So this is the airship and floating islands world.
Cloud.
And also you can see how quickly we load inside of worlds through Neos. That's another advantage for Neos is the world loading times are usually because of the new asset variant system.
Yes. And so this world was made for people to kind of build out individual islands, and then we'd have a ship to float between. That ship over there is a little bit too fast, but we'll get into the ship that was pretty much built entirely in Eos. If we want to you'll have to walk to it and then jump on it.
All this model right here and everything, all entirely made in Eos. So not this wasn't like imported through Blender or anything like that. This was using all the building tools that we have in Eos.
And make sure you're in walk mode, everyone. And I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, having this many. Oh, pardon. Having this many people.
We're on a boat.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Is everybody on? Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Fly over. Says, when the trailer releases in
Moet je kunnen vliegen, ja.
I might. And so this is more of a slow ship. It's going to take a little while to get there. So those of you that don't want to wait this long.
Kind of funny.
Good thing you'll load a little bit. So that
This will take a little while to get here. It takes about 2 to 10 minutes. We actually moved the island, so it wouldn't be too much of a distance.
I feel like I'm in Disney or something.
Totally.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, this is an asset from Sketchfab Turtle Island. And it's a really nice hangout spot, actually. I would love to see someone remix this world and really clean it up. Add in some different islands, have some more vehicles. That would be fantastic. So this would be also a good thing to like have board games, like play some board games on here. But Anomalous made the ship. A group of people helped redesign Turtle Island. And what you'll notice also, at the very beginning of each world, I try and make sure to have credits.
There you go, I reduced sound effects a little bit.
And if anyone wants to fly over to the island, you don't have to wait, but you'll need to run off of this because you'll be parented to the ship. So you'll have to run off the ship if you want to fly. Otherwise,
So like this.
it does take a little while to get there. It's much more like a slow steamship. As you can tell, this takes a bit of time. This takes a little bit of time. We're close.
I'm not gonna lie, I jumped off the ship and then my hand menu did not appear so that I could change my locomotion, so I just kind of...
Oh no, I hope that doesn't happen to everyone else. Mine seems to be fine. Yes.
I'm just making that toast model, have it so then your mouth is like moving or like.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably put blend shapes on it. I already have something that's dealing with some other things.
You just have to be texture swapping between like 3 different textures, like one that has like low values and size.
I have them already.
I'm in the trust.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. I'm so impatient. Is everyone else feeling like that type of like anticipation? Just you want to get off the stamp ship and jump on the island?
He thinks these things inside of his head. It's his own self-doubt, but it's like he has to be more powerful with his thoughts. Right, Medra?
Nah. Power the hyper thrusters.
Yeah, well, this is much more of a relax. This is a pleasure ship. Much more relaxation.
I like how he's just like holding that picture. It's like, this is mine.
Is that everyone at the start, Electrospy?
Yeah, because I love it a little bit more.
Thank you for being patient, everyone. Alright, that's it. I'm jumping off.
No, don't do it. You have so much to live for.
Do it, Medra.
Let's jump off this.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make y'all wait. And they specifically added colliders on this so you could walk up the steps.
Proud of them. I'm proud of them so much. But yeah, it's as simple as dragging and dropping it through the inspector. Oh, it is in beta right now, Loxy. So you can load it and install it for free on Steam, but it is still in beta.
We're hopping,
you guys. We're hopping.
Oh,
Woo!
we should do the limit. Stare montage.
I know, totally.
I can tell other people are like, in the back.
Did we do it? No. Ah, dang it.
Oh, you gotta climb. That's it. None of this nonsense. Whoop.
I cheated. I flew.
Nah, me too.
That's okay.
Cheater.
Oh, cheater. Oh, absolutely. And yeah, there are some bugs, but
Hey, Sid. Yeah, we basically have to have 2 sessions set out because once we get past 15, it's starting to be kind of crippling in there, unfortunately. So
I know it's.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing a bodiless avatar.
yeah, I have a mesh-only avatar other than the translation tool.
Technically, it's a body, so.
Yeah.
Currently, we have 22 players.
So I figured I'd make some of the exploring worlds at least open up, even though
Considering there's not any crashes.
in this
The
session.
fact that we have over 18 people is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
22 people in this world.
Yeah, 22. It's running pretty well for the amount of things going on for 22 people in here, and especially all the avatars and all the things moving. Not too bad. But I appreciate everyone being patient. Are people attending the session too, where there's a stream at least, so people can kind of see what's going on?
I don't have streaming capability.
Oh no, there's a stream inside session too.
Generally, it's a good idea. But it's fun when there's more people together.
Agreed. Agreed.
We are together now. We are together.
So.
Yeah. What is that monstrosity?
This right here is the whole.
The ultimate vegan.
So I'll probably jump down in here, everyone, and then we'll move back from here.
Hey, you actually, you look like you need some nourishment. You should probably,
So, this is... Yeah, it is super high. It's very steep. Crunch. Yeah. Alita, Alita. But this world has a nice... I'll save you. Well, we'll probably stop back into another world soon. But this is one of my favorites. I think that this world has a lot of potential. And I hope to see people take parts of it, remix it, as much as... Well,
very impressive. As you were 10 out of 10.
Well, everyone...
My ears are detecting lag though. They detect it.
We'll be jumping back to the session world.
Okay.
And those of you that can't get into the first session, there should be a second session open that you can all hang out and watch. And I'll make sure that the initial world opens up that we go into, and then you can visit there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to move it all on Switch Worlds. Unfortunately, sorry. Oh wow, that's a different feel already.
Yeah.
Oh, this is speaking of feeling.
Vad står för neven now?
Yes. Oh, that's camera on me.
Genau.
Give me just a minute. Need to do one more thing. I'll be back in just a minute. While everyone pops back in.
One minute.
Yep.
I'm tired, so you guys are hungry. I am so hungry. What about you, Bean? It's 1 p.m. for you, so you probably already had.
Come with that good shit. Like,
Okay.
There we are. No, I felt that the other day when I was making like just some mashed potatoes and chicken, and then they were making spanakopita, and I was like,
Thank you, Probable.
it's like, how dare you do that now?
Yes, I'm full, and now there's.
Did you say spanakopita? Oh, so good.
Yeah, delicious flaky spanakopita.
Much better than koropita.
Case says using the game with Vive controllers feels a bit difficult. I think I am doing something wrong.
So I'm going to load into our next world. And the next world will be a little bit lighter.
I wouldn't I would say that out of all the controllers,
I appear to be stuck in like -1 frame per second.
Yeah, I have only a few frames to
I'm
go.
actually running 20 now. It's alright.
My gear is not good. So
It'll take me a few minutes to get to where we need to go.
it's not very good for me as a
I can understand that one.
So I'm going to join in the world. I'll bring it back for you all. It's a little bit laggy, so it takes a few minutes, unfortunately.
Oh, this one's
2 hours later.
So I'm loading in.
2 hours later.
I know, right? Crunch, crunch, crunch. Crunch, crunch.
so warbly.
I'm still loading in.
Is that one functional now? I checked it out a couple of weeks back and it didn't seem to be completely working.
That's
Loading. Loading.
We're talking about, well, I was talking about this one. It's kind of an egg shape.
So I couldn't hear it.
Alright,
I said only one eternity for you. Also, look at that small volley right there. There's his.
Even more dollies.
Yes, even more. Why is such a?
He's like a ghost.
Oh, he's like a ghost. Okay.
Obake?
Yes, you are a ghost. Careful, he's gonna get your soul.
あ、なんか騙せよ、食べちゃうぞ。
耐えられる。
いや、騙せよ。
Thank you all for being very patient. This is
Oh, that's okay. While we're waiting, though, I'm going to. Wait, is that my water? Completely melted and just like. This is why I need a coaster. Gosh.
Wait, your water has melted?
Your water melted? Yeah. Does it usually melt?
But I mean, like, you know how, like, when you put, like, a lot of ice in a water ball, it's kind of, like, sweaty?
Yeah, it condenses.
There we are.
Yeah, condenses outside. Because it gets
What
too
about
Oh. There we go. Ah, my computer is melting out. Let's see. Do this first. Get everyone in.
Because I'm learning today.
There we go. Oh. There we go, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So
Finally.
we're going to jump in. I know. Tell me about it. Jeez. Oh.
Yes.
Wonderful. Ah, there we are. Ah, that's much.
Oh, my frames.
I know. Ah.
My ears.
I know I can breathe.
Wait and
Yeah. My digital breath. Yeah. Crunch.
Crunch time. Lux says, I enjoy science, so I know what he is talking about. Well, actually, if you're enjoying...
So just everyone pop in to... So feel free to go to mood, feeling, and emotion, and I'll see you all in a minute.
I see.
June 2nd a year ago.
For hospitals, for education, and for just in general, people who want to use something for VR. So that's why I say, like, this platform is a lot more than something than just, like, VRC, because we're trying to make it be to where it can be a lot for the industry to build whatever they want in VR without having to be a Unity developer or a game developer. They could just be any person and start creating out their content. Milk chocolate is a science question mark? Yes, milk chocolate actually is a science. Anything could be a science.
Could be a religion too.
Well, yes, milk chocolate could be a religion.
All right. So we'll open up the world shortly once we can hear each other a little more. Okay, everyone.
Can I join that religion? That's a religion I would not mind getting. Having the sacred holy chocolate milk. They would It sounds a lot better than
All right, everyone. So this world is pretty plain, but the reason why I showed it off. So could I have everyone's attention briefly?
Yep. Right here.
So this world, the theme was based on feelings, moods, and emotions. And so people created different items and worlds based on this. So it was mainly worlds built. And so, for instance, you can look at this and it gives the feeling of paranoia. Or if you walk over to the door, if someone wants to find eternal happiness. Happiness inside. Does anyone want to click on that?
Happiness inside?
Happiness inside?
Oh, it's over there. Oh, I get it.
Oh, we're
So, bus driver made that one. Now, who has the best internet connection here? Because
here, wait, I know what to do. You just click it out all the way from out here, and then.
Yep.
Yeah, this is big brain time.
happiness inside.
G59 or nice to meet you. I've seen your art. I love your generative art.
He's the spiciest meme lord of the entire community.
He's the what, Lord?
That's good to know.
He's the spiciest meme lord of the entire community.
Oh, I love that. You need to meet Bean. Bean, meet G59. That's so. Who has the best internet connection? Because this isn't hooked up to the headless. These worlds will be separate. So whoever thinks they have the best internet connection to not crush themselves in here, we should start off on just a couple of these worlds. I'm not going to show. I can't do it because if I do it, I'm streaming, I'll melt. With the translation tool, this and everything else. We'll need someone to click on, we'll click on just 2 worlds in here. Well, maybe 3. We'll go on Vigilabu's Uncertainty. So whoever...
I definitely would, but appear to be dying anyway.
Who has a good internet
which is not helpful.
We'll just use mine. I'm willing to kill myself.
I got it. No.
No, okay, you got it. No. Okay. Yep, we'll jump into primes.
This one?
Yep.
It's prime.
So join in.
It's an mystery.
So this one's Uncertainty. And Vigilabu also made this. And if you look at the floor... Yeah, well, everyone's voice will be echoing for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone on stream.
Because this is world.
And so this isn't. These are very light worlds. And so Vigilabu also made the music.
I guess right here.
And so we'll probably jump into another one, but people are welcome to stay in this as long as Probable has it open. But
really depressive.
Yeah, it is kind of. It is sad. It's Uncertainty by Vigilabu.
Okay, I'm glad that you feel that way of that. I would say that.
I think it has a melancholy feel.
I wouldn't say that Neos would be like old school Second Life, but I definitely would say that it's adopting ideas that are similar to USL. But
all right, everyone.
I feel like
I'm going to jump out of this one.
Exciting to show new things because we can actually incorporate entire games into the form.
Thank you for hosting it, Probable. Whew. I feel like I'm running.
Yeah, I guess I assumed my machine would be able to handle a little bit better.
Oh no, this is heavy.
Sculpting tool inside of Neos.
We'll use even more servers next time.
3D sculpting and also in world, like we'll eventually have that through even more advanced creation tools.
So we'll briefly go into the endless struggle, and then trust, very quickly. Does anyone mind hosting the endless struggle, and then we'll
could try.
Trust. Okay.
Wait, did someone already mark one?
Somebody. That's right. I'll join
Let's
them.
try to get them.
We'll join them.
Destroy their computer. Oh, Orange, are you using... Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually already export out models here inside Neos. So if you create something using the tool inside of here, you can already export that and work on it.
So yeah. We really want this to be.
And then, if you run in here, if you run to the end or while you're moving more fast, the music will change. And so, this one's called The Endless Struggle. I like your avatar, by the way. I'm not sure. So if you run over to the end, to kind of represent the endless struggle. Oh, it looks like people are kind of loading in forever on this. Unfortunately, this world looks like it's a little bit too laggy for everyone. We'll have to go to back.
It's surprising they're all having troubles to connect to you. That's interesting.
Inside of this one.
Sit here as well. It's just...
So Emberx was posting out that one, and it was probably a little bit choppy for that.
Oh, thank you, Enbrex.
But I showed it out.
Yeah. So, and then we can pop in with Trust just for a second. I'm probably only going to do that one just because since we don't have these on the headless, unfortunately. Someone else, if you someone wouldn't mind hosting Trust. We'll kind of show what it does, and then we won't go through it too much because of the lack of being on the headless. I don't want to lag you all out. By the way, Orange, are you using Vex's translation tool?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Vex translation.
Excellent.
Nah.
Well, let's jump into Trust.
We're planning on having everything that would be inside of OVR Toolkit just in Neos as well. So imagine we're going to also have a screen mode as well.
Okay.
That will be pretty nice.
So who wants to be the guide?
So you can actually see your desk computer inside of the VR as well, and then you can use your computer that way. But yeah, you definitely use that. Definitely work and play.
Can you?
How many frames I have?
Okay.
A lot of work, also a lot of.
Bean, how are you moving along in here? Do you have some decent frames?
I am currently having 26.
26 frames?
Yes.
See.
Just
yeah, if you don't mind, can you run through and be the guide?
Quick as possible.
Yeah, go through this one. Go through the guide, Bean. Be the guide, and then we'll also.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go walk into Be Guided, everyone.
Be guide.
And Bean is above us, and he can see. The floor is lava. So if you're in walk mode, he has to kind of tell us where to walk.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna have to guide us. So can you tell us where?
Tell us where to walk. Can I walk forward?
So the green ones is where you can walk.
Can I walk forward? Can I walk forward?
The first block before where Metro is standing on is green.
Okay.
Okay.
Where you're standing on, and to the front of you, and to the right of you. But I would say.
Oh fuck. All right.
Okay, so first block left, and then go right, like immediately.
And okay, I'm right here.
Go right again.
Still here. Okay.
And so Probable Prime built this world, and it's fun. The whole idea of trust. And trying to make sure that this is great to see everyone doing this puzzle.
Right now, he's seeing the lava, and he's trying to get guys to get onto the other side.
If you want to move forward, you gotta jump over the block in front of you onto the next one.
Okay.
Did I do it?
Oh.
Okay, did it.
Yeah, you did it. You're on, and then move right.
Oh no.
Then I move right. Okay. Just keep walking right.
Yeah, keep walking.
Oh, no. Must get to where Nex is.
Okay.
There.
From there's 2 blocks of you ahead that are green.
Okay, 2 blocks there ahead of me that are green. One.
And...
Okay. 1, 2.
Keep going.
Stop. Okay.
Okay, so now in like diagonal position left from you, there's another block. Like,
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh!
You the dead boy. Where do I go? I wanna get it.
there's 2 blocks
I'm
ahead.
not sure if I can trust this one.
I think I'm gonna sit out and watch now.
My latency isn't good enough to precise movements here.
Just let the pause.
Same.
Do you know what? It's like chess. You let the pawns move first.
Yeah. Totally.
You didn't tell me to stop, boy.
But I would strongly suggest you all play this some other time. It's a fun little mini game.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to show it. Totally. Checkmate. Well, we'll probably head out of this world shortly just because I don't want to kill you all as far as frames.
Appropriate emotion.
Okay, and then the last one for this career jam, right?
Yeah, just so you know, I would strongly suggest checking out Circuitry's world, but since we kind of have, we're kind of pushing time, I don't want to have this drag on and on for you all, and also since we don't have a
we
headless.
have other worlds that we have to show up, manager.
So let's jump back.
Okay.
What we do here is go back.
Oh, there we are.
I
And,
love lava.
and the next world is pretty basic. It's mainly about the items that are in it. So this one won't be too heavy of a world. Now,
Mr. L says, hey, what is Overyard Toolkit? Overyard Toolkit, I believe, is something that allows you to see your desktop screen in VR.
Isn't it kind of laggy though? I don't know. So I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't use it. So
To be honest with you, the update that they did with Valve's, Steam VR and their overlay, it's just as good as Oculus Dash, to be honest with you. So the update
I usually Steam VR.
I don't even use my OVR toolkit anymore because it's the second it's using up, performance. So, I'm sorry. That's just me.
I'll be there in just a minute, everyone. There we are. Give me just a minute to load in.
Nice meeting you.
That's crazy. It goes well, Mentalish. It's a bit laggy. I'm reaching my FPS limit. I think I'm basically using up all of the memory on my computer, and it shows. And let's see, get a session orb. Okay. Okay.
I guess there's 2 of them. I have to look it up.
this is
Okay, cool. So,
the avatar world.
Okay.
Wow.
Nani?
So let's walk in. This was mainly a world that was made to show off a special type of avatar, Potato Bot. And if you take off, you can equip the avatar. And let's take off. And so, yeah, you can grab. And so you can change and swap out parts.
Thanks.
Oh, right turn, body parts.
There. Or take off.
なるほど。
And it's snappable body.
それで組み替えられる。
The hand needs to be ungrabbable. And so the idea was for people just to make.
Got him.
Which my head? Yes. Yes.
Oh.
That thing again.
That's creepy.
And it's so you can make your own snappable body parts. And the idea was to have kind of like a Mr. Potato Head to be able to take different body parts and be able to replace them. So you can take off all your body parts.
Wow. Context manager.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
It feels like a teacher with students without a museum. Yeah.
Totally does. Yeah. I know, right?
Pay attention.
So yeah, try it out.
Class, please.
No, just have fun with it. Oh, boo. By the way, I love that avatar. That was made by Lucas. The Potato Bot was designed and created by Anomalous and Probable Time.
Ew, what is this monstrosity? No.
Nicolas Cage. Yes.
No. He has banana tail.
about to turn it 100 degrees. Swing.
Yes.
You mean 180 degrees?
Yes, 180.
Yeah, I know. Could be done. So, this was just an avatar world. I'm glad you. Hopefully people end up messing with this idea and playing with it a little bit more.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next one, otherwise we'll end up cursed.
End up cursed. Cursed, you say?
She was looking kind of dumb with the finger in her bum. I cannot see anything. I cannot see anything.
Oh no. Here, I'll give you an avatar to switch into. Here. Right in front of you. Right in front of you, shoot.
Okay, I'm shooting.
You can't text me, yeah.
Is that better?
I was stuck in it.
Oh, weird.
It was just red.
Oh, weird. Yeah, this is a really good avatar. It was built by someone in Screen Mode, but it should work for most people. I plan on making.
It's only because I'm making.
Why did you have to sing that song? Now it's stuck in my head.
So, Yeah, but this world was the avatar switchers were by Lucas. Same with the character, the dragon character. Plan on making a Creator Jam that's all going to be two-dimensional, kind of like being inside a Super Famicom or Super Nintendo.
Thanks, Dean Guy Fox.
So yeah, this is the Avatar world. Mainly wanted to just show off the potato lot to everyone. Yeah, exactly. That's a tail. Yeah, lots of phallic themes here.
Peppers.
It's time for breast massage.
Yes, it is.
Oh
my gosh. Sorry.
Well,
Evan says, next, did you get any progress on your Cyberpunk avatar?
Alright, everyone, let's head back.
I mean, eventually. I'm great.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny, once you have very few avatars in here, it's like you have infinite frames, and then
right
when everyone comes in. I'm glad I figured everyone would enjoy that world.
Yeah, really. People really took up to it.
It's just like,
The next one is going to be intense.
Oh boy. Chat, could you let me know if you hear this, or if it's annoying?
Did you just issue an agenda?
Can you hear my AC? If it's too loud, then I'll probably still keep it off, but... Yeah, no real life stand avatars.
Alright, everybody.
That nonsense.
The next world will end up being a haunted house. So I'm a big fan of Halloween, and we've found a lot of nice free assets that we're able
It's
to
just very early Spooktober.
And so,
how many more worlds after this one, Metro?
have we been into about 5? There's a total of 11.
11?
And so,
Okay.
I anticipated that it would take about a half an hour per world, but I think we're doing a little better than that. And so,
I knew it.
ooh. So I'll load in that and then bring it back here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. And there's probably a chance, this is very common with Creator Jams, if there's a lot of users, that we need to kind of clean out assets on the headless, and we might have to reset the world after 2 hours. I think that we're already into an hour and a half. Let's see. I can't really tell right now because I'm lagging a bit.
Yeah, and I like how, though, for me, his subtitles are perfect, yeah.
It's because the subtitles are local. And
there's probably a chance that it's not even saying the right thing.
It's coming from the local mic, not Neos mic.
It's a local. Oh my gosh. Metro's chip choppy.
Yeah, I'm trying. If it ends up being where I'm a little too choppy again, and you all are waiting more than 5 minutes, we'll reset the server, unfortunately.
Oh, your hair. Oh, it's super kawaii.
Thank you.
Nice heart. While Metro tries to figure out the thing, we'll be.
Yeah, I'm just
try not to pass out on it.
Oh, right.
Let's get him in there.
Of course. Of course. You know what? Are you norming on?
Yeah, I think it's going to be time to reset everything soon, everybody.
You now that you're normie.
Fucking normie.
Poor Emrex. Emrex, you just gotta stay as, you're a nice pretty dragon. I like your pretty dragon. Pretty. A human is good too. At least you incorporated your other dragon character as a human.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna probably have to reset the server. I apologize.
Reminds me of like
there's no way.
World of Warcraft. You know, like
But I'm getting like 1 frame per second. I can't
disguise themselves as like a human. It kind of reminds me of that.
So everyone, I'm gonna reset the server, and we'll open up this world again. So remember, it's first come first serve. So be ready to enter the world immediately when it loads. I'm gonna have to cut it. I'm gonna have to shut it down.
Oh yeah, if you helmet drops.
He went to Australia.
If it was so simple.
Let's activate.
All right, everyone. We'll get there. So we're gonna reset my computer as well as this. Everything is crashing.